Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra and I'm the designer behind Sandra Stitches, and you're here for some crochet goodness. So let's get started because I have 5 things. This is our next video in the series of 5 things I wish I knew before, and today we are talking about writing patterns. That's what I do. So let's get started. The first thing I wish I knew before I started writing patterns, that it was like about 4 or 5 years ago, is that making something pretty is not just about making something pretty. When you want to design a crochet piece and write a pattern and then hope that people will love it and buy the pattern, it's not enough that the piece is pretty. You have to write it in a manner that it's understandable, it's accurate, that people can visualize what they are going to be making, not only because of the photo that you put near to the written pattern, but because it's written in such a way that people can connect. And it's better if you use simple language. You have to remember that writing for others is completely different than writing for yourself. Because when you write for yourself, you have all the process in your head. But if somebody buys your pattern, they don't have the process. They have to make the process by following the pattern. So it has to be very, very clear and very clean and very simple, because you never know who is going to read it. So it has to be for the general public, right? That anybody who buys your pattern can understand what's going on there. All right. The second thing that I wish I knew before I started writing patterns, and I did not practice this until later, after I even took a course by Selena Baca, which I recommend. If you want to write patterns, take her course. And if you're new to writing patterns, take her course. I will put a link. It's not sponsored. I don't have an affiliate link, but I will put a link in the description box. Swatching can change everything. Making the gouge for your pattern. I say, and in the previous video, we talked about gouging, and I said that gouging is very, very important when it's crucial for the piece. But when you're writing a pattern, when you're designing for a pattern that you want to sell, so it's very important that you make a swatch gouge with different yarns, different hook sizes, so you can feel, the drape, you can feel how the other person that is going to buy the pattern will feel, and then you can, how do you say it in English, to transmit that feeling to the buyer of the pattern. It's about the yarns, it's about the hook sizes, it's about the tension, it's about everything that crochet has. But swatching, making a gouge, is important for us as crochet pattern designers to get the feeling of the shape and also of the size that we want to accomplish. And then we can transfer that to whoever is going to buy our pattern. Gouging is important if you are a pattern writer. Okay, this one is, as you say, I don't know, there probably is a saying in English as well, but we have a saying in Hebrew that if you don't learn by your head, you learn by your feet, right? Something like that. If you are a pattern writer, you must write down your rounds or rows or whatever changes as you go. My goodness, until now, I think that I haven't found the, I don't know how even to call it, the technique, how to do that. I use my phone, I use a notebook, I use a tablet, I use just pieces of paper. I use every technique under the sun. And I know it's very hard because you are into the zone of crocheting and you say, oh yeah, I will remember, no worries, yeah. No, write as you go. Start a new page, put the, write down the hook size, how many times I started designing something and then I had to go somewhere and stop working or do something else, and then I come back to the design and I don't remember the hook size I used. Very frustrating. Or maybe I did not count exactly the stitches for the foundation chain, or I made changes and I did not write them down. Very, very frustrating. And then when you finish the project and you're so happy and you say, okay, now I will sit down and write the pattern so I can release it and make some money and people will buy it. It will take you twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more time to figure out what you did in that design. So write as you go is I think it's number 1, really. It's number 1. But here it's number 3. Okay, let's go to number 4. This is a little bit controversial, and it's about testing. Now, I know that many designers have a group of testers. They test each and every pattern they write before they release it, and I think testing is super important. That said, I don't test each and every pattern that I release. But if it is a pattern, if it's a design that it's crucial, the stitch numbers, the changes, the stitch patterns, and everything has to be, it's more of an intermediate or maybe even more level pattern. So of course I will give it to testers and we'll test them. I have a problem, and I know it, with the stitch counting. Somehow, I don't know why, my brain does not work in that area. So I use my testers. I don't use them. They help me, okay? My testers help me with my stitch count. And I have a group of testers that I always come back to. They are beautiful, wonderful women that help me so much. So testing is very important. But if I have a project that is, beginner level or even easy level, no, I will not always test it. I will go over it again and again, and I will not test it. Testing has another face to it that many designers use, rely, not use. Use is not a good word. Rely on testers for different color combinations, for different sizes. If you are working on a wearable and you want it to be in different sizes, so you have to test it because you have to see how many stitches for each size, and also you will have more opportunities. So overall, I think the testing is really good. But I do not test everything. That's me. All right, let's move to our fifth and last thing. I wish I knew before I became a crochet pattern designer and writing patterns, and that is, I totally relate to this one, and I think it's my motto in my business: simplicity. You do not have to invent the wheel in every design, crochet pattern that you design. If somebody is looking for a very, very intricate dress or wearable or even home decor with lots of layers, lots of colors, lots of stitch patterns going on, it's fine. There are a lot of super, super amazing crochet designers that know how to do that and know how to write these patterns, and people follow them, and it's a special branch. I think this is how I see it. I think the majority are looking for simple projects, a little bit unique, something fun to do. I also think that people connect with the designer before they buy the pattern, and they buy the pattern because they connect with the designer, because it can be the most simple pattern in the world for a rectangle beanie, and people will buy it because they maybe connect with the designer, with the vibe. Simplicity is good. The wheel has been invented many years ago, so if you try to make it too unique or too how to work, or with a lot of changes, people don't like it so much. They don't connect with it so much. Most of us would like a project that you can sit in front of your Netflix show and work on it, or maybe something that you do for yourself if it's a wearable, but it doesn't have 120 increases and decreases, because then you have to be so concentrated on the work. I'm not saying that complicated patterns are, not good. Of course not. I wish I had the patience and the brains to work something like that. But I think for most, if you want to start writing patterns, make it simple. It's fine. People love simplicity. All right. These were my 5 things I wish I knew before I started creating patterns, writing crochet patterns. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you did, please leave a comment. And also, if you have a new suggestion, please tell me in the comments so we can all learn from you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'm going to start releasing videos 3 times a week. I hope, fingers crossed, that I will manage that. So, welcome. Bye.